Hey everybody, welcome to Action Figure Window Shopping episode 62. My name is Jeremy, and in this show, I take a look at some of the biggest and coolest toy announcements over the past week. I pick a few of them, and then I share my thoughts about those things here with you. And boy, let me tell you, there were some announcements this week. All right, so let's start things off with McFarlane Toys to see what they've been up to. And they have just revealed a whole new Build-A-Figure wave from Titans. Now, this is on McFarlaneToysStore.com, where you can pre-order all 4 figures of this wave. That includes Nightwing, Arsenal, Donna Troy, and Raven. And when you get all those figures, you get the pieces to build Beast Boy. They're in the back looking like the Incredible Hulk. And for a bigger picture of him, that is what he looks like. Now, of course, it's social media. We're going to have some people that think it's cool. Some people think, oh, you should have done this, you should have done that. But hey, I like them. I like my big, giant, plastic-filled figures, and I personally do like this Beast Boy. I would have also liked to have seen Starfire maybe sometime down the line, and hopefully maybe we can get the rest of the animated Titans to go along with that lone cyborg that came out so long ago. It just feels like such a random release at this point, but hopefully we can fill out the rest of the Titans in this form and in the animated form as well. But you can get all these figures for $84.96 because the McFarlane Toy Store tends to give a discount on pre-orders like this. And if you find yourself one of those 10% off codes, it can help to offset the shipping from McFarlane Toy Store. And also, shipping, when they have them in stock, you can get figures faster from McFarlane Toy Store than pretty much everywhere else. So that's just a little added value for you. But if you can't get everything at once, or maybe you don't care about the Build-A-Figure, you just want to get the figures individually, you can do that as well. $24.99 for each of them, which is the standard price for a McFarlane figure that has a Build-A-Figure piece with it. So yeah, these are coming out. They're going to ship in April. I wouldn't be surprised if they ship sometime in March, because that tends to be what happens. But also on the McFarlane Toys front, another big announcement is the McFarlane Toys Winter Showcase. That's going to be kicking off on February 28th and going until March the 2nd, where they're going to be showing off some new reveals, perhaps some things that you haven't seen before or heard about, and maybe some things that you have already heard about. But it's a mystery right now, but we are going to find out starting on February 28th, which is 4 days from now. So we're going to keep our eyes open for the McFarlane Toys Winter Showcase, and then in the next episode, we'll go over all of the reveals from that. Speaking of reveals, Mezco also had some reveals as well for the Mezco Toy Fair 2023. And here is just a look at some of them, starting here with the Exorcist from the Return of the Living Dead dolls. And this is just creepy. I mean, just look at that mask, those eyes, and he has a noose around the neck. I mean, come on, that's just weird. Is that a spider? No, that's not a spider. I don't know what they're holding, but that's just weird and creepy, and I just had to show it. It's delightful. Another reveal here is from the 112 Collective. This is G.I. Joe Firefly figure here. And then another set of figures that were revealed are the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the comic book version. So, they all have the red bandanas. So they got those that are coming out. And then here is another from the 112 Collective line, the Shadow. And then our best buddy, Wolverine. Another 112 Collective figure. We only get to see what I'm assuming is his right hand here, but he's wearing that classic blue and yellow X-Men suit. So looking forward to this and seeing what he looks like in, the entire figure. But those are just a few of the reveals from the Mezco Toy Fair 2023. And yeah, more on that when we see it. Now, speaking of the Turtles, NECA, it's got quite a few things that they got going on. Over on NECA's official site, we have pre-orders for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Donatello's portable portal generator. Now, this is $44.99. If you live in the United States, you can get it, or if you live internationally, you can also get it. There's limit 2 per person, and this is a diorama set. So here's just a look at how you could possibly set it up, especially if you have room for dioramas or if you have some of the previous diorama sets from TMNT. This one will go along very well with it. You do not get the turtles. This is just going to be for the diorama. And it comes with a couple of these lenticular screens here that you can put inside of the portal generator. You know, just make it look like you can just walk in there and enter into another dimension and whatnot. But yeah, it is 7.25 inches high, and pre-orders are going to be open for, I want to say, maybe about a week more. So yeah, if you're interested in this, go over to the NECA and get your pre-orders in. They're not going to sell out. These are pre-orders, so if you get one in, then you will receive it. Now, that's not the only thing that NECA has going on, because we are very, very close to the return of Haulathon. If you remember Haulathon, it is that joint collaboration between NECA Toys and Target in which they reveal and start selling a bunch of figures like all at once, even though like every Friday is supposed to be a new release. So this starts off on March the 3rd at Target stores, Target.com, and if you live outside of the United States, Haulathon.com is where you'll need to go so that you can also get some of these figures. And just look at all these brands that are going to be around: TMNT, Alf, the Munsters, Kid Robot, Sonic, Gremlins, Hello Kitty. But if you remember the last Haulathon that happened, it was a bit of a cluster, a little bit of a mess, because some stores start putting out figures before the official date. And guess what? The same thing happened this time around too. Here's some photos that people have been posting on social media and on Reddit of their Target stores that have already started to put out these figures. And then we can get a look at some of the things that they're going to be selling here. So here are some of the Alf figures right here. But then when it comes to TMNT, we see that we have the Eastman and Laird Shredder clones, which is like really cool. Like, I want that Shredder clone. We have Man Ray here. We also have some 2-packs for Grunt and Jersey Red, Shaka, how do you pronounce this? Shakakachi and Lotus. Some figures from the TMNT cartoon that I am not familiar with, but you get Tall Thug and Short Gangster, like right there in the back, right behind Jersey Red and Grunt. And then we've got our last Ronin variant as well. This one has like a lot of red paint on him. It's a paint variant. Then we also get this from the Files of the Pizza Squad TMNT figure with this big robot cop. We got the Spider Gremlin here, and then another accessory set featuring these little baby turtles down here as well. And then here's the Hello Kitty stuff, and there's a Supersonic right there. And then here's another photo of someone who went all out and bought a lot of these 2-packs. And I gotta say, this is a nice table. Look at this table that they got. That's a nice table. Looks pretty expensive. But anyway, there's a look at the accessory set, some of the 2-packs here. Dirk Savage and Mona Lisa, that's one that I didn't see on the shelf in that last picture. But I know looking at this, it can be really, really tempting to, just want to go out and search every single Target and see if you can get your hands on it. And if you got the time to do that, then hey, by all means. But if you can't find these figures in store, I gotta tell you, just be patient. Okay, just be patient, because you're going to get a chance to buy them online. And then even after that, there's still a good chance that they will come back and you'll be able to purchase them again a little bit later down the line. But above all else, please do not go to eBay or Mercari or whatnot and pay those outrageous third-party prices for these figures, because the people are out there doing it right now. They're finding these on the shelves, they're buying them up, and then they're putting them up for sale for a whole lot of money. So just try to exercise a little bit of patience and get these the regular, legit way. Do not feed that monster. All right, so that's just a look at Haulathon. Remember, March 3rd is when it kicks off, but go check your Target stores now because you might get lucky. Now I'm going to switch gears, move over to Big Bad Toy Store, and I came across these things that I had no idea that these things existed, but I thought that they were kind of neat. So this is from Mattel. There are these Marvel comics, and it's not just Marvel. There's other brands as well. They're called nanopods, and these are these little connectable pods that have figures on the inside of them, and then you can combine them to make these funky shapes that you can then put on display. So I thought that was kind of neat because if you might remember or you might have seen before in stores, they have these little hexagonal lights that are magnetized on the base, and you can put them on your wall, put them in whatever type of pattern shape that you want, and then they kind of light up and they have all these different RGB colors and everything. So this kind of reminded me of that, and especially in these patterns, it's like sciency in a way. So just looking at this, I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of neat, but also kind of pricey. $119.99 for a box of 24 of these random pods. So they are blind boxes, which is always, ugh, don't want to do that. But I also saw this like on Entertainment Earth where they sell a 6 pack of these for around $31 or $32. But either way, they're not cheap. I'm not going to get any of these, but just running across them and seeing the possibilities that you can do with them, especially if you're into like wall displays, I thought that it was still worth taking a look at, checking out, and telling you about it. All right, so here are just some of the figures that you can get: Black Widow, Venom, Thor, Star-Lord, Captain Marvel, Rocket Raccoon, Iron Man, Groot, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. There's a gold metallic chase variant Spider-Man as well. And there's also a little mini poster in there. So, your typical blind box stuff. But anyway, those are the nanopods. Another thing I came across, which I absolutely love, is Terminator 2 Judgment Day endoskeleton from Mafex. Now, I am a huge endoskeleton fan. I love Terminator endoskeletons. They're just so aggressive and just awesome looking. But what's not awesome? The prices of these Mafex figures. Now, this is the big bad toy store tax, $139.99. I've seen this cheaper on other sites for like around $109, $106, but either way you slice it, it's going to be over $100, and that is just too much to swallow. February 2024 is when this comes out, and it's only 6.3 inches tall, so it's not that tall. It's still made of plastic. It's not metal. Highly detailed and fully articulated, and of course it kind of has to be, right? So yeah, not my cup of tea as far as the price goes, but we can still just take a nice close look at this endoskeleton and just enjoy the majesty that these death machines bring. I mean, that's just real. I love those teeth, those red eyes. It'd be cool if the eyes lit up, but I don't believe that they will or that they do. You got these weapons that have some nice dry brushing on them. I like the way that those teeth look. So it's very true to form. It just costs too darn much. But that's kind of how it goes with Mafex figures, in general. But something that's a little bit more affordable from the world of Dragon Ball. We're finally showing the Ox King a little bit of love. This is a Dragon Ball Ichiban Show Ox King. And I never see Ox King statues or Ox King figures these days. So when I ran across this guy, I had to show him a little bit of love. So he's bigger than a lot of the other Ichiban Show figures, which he should be because he's the Ox King. He's massive. He's going to stand at 8.3 inches tall. It's a statue, no articulation, made of plastic, all that stuff. $70, coming out in September of this year. And yeah, I just wanted to give this guy his time in the spotlight, because not since the original Dragon Ball, we don't really see too much of the Ox King, unless he's just sort of in the background somewhere with the crowd, you can go like, oh, look, it's Ox King. So he doesn't have any prominence anymore, but here is your opportunity to shine, Ox King. We bow to you. So now, only got a couple more things that I want to show off, and they are both from NECA. It's a NECA heavy show today, and it's these big life-size foam figures. There's two of them on the show. The first one being this Deadpool here for $1,400. Now, these things aren't cheap. I remember maybe about 8 or 9 years ago, a long time ago. I was walking through the mall and I saw at FYE they had this life-size Batman figure, and I think they only wanted like $500 or $600 for him. And then looking up at this Deadpool figure, $1,400. Wow. But it is life size. It stands over 6 feet tall and is made of foam, rubber, and latex, and it's hand painted. Ships in 2 different boxes so that you can put them together. So yeah, this is huge. You want a life size Deadpool? Put it in your room, standing next to your bed. It doesn't matter. Do whatever you want. You can get them for $1,400. February 2023. That's now. But if Deadpool is not your cup of tea, maybe Wonder Woman is. So she's a little less expensive for $1,299, but it's the same kind of deal here. So this is from is Gal Gadot's likeness of Wonder Woman, and this one is 6 feet 1 inches tall, taller than me, made of foam, rubber, and latex with synthetic hair, and it's also hand painted. So yeah. Here's a picture of a woman standing next to a prototype of Wonder Woman. So, she's pretty big. She's pretty huge. And yeah, if I had the budget to have these life-size foam figures and just put them in a collectible room, and they're just kind of standing guard like centuries, in the room, would just be absolutely awesome. But I think that this is a pretty decent likeness. I think she looks good. But I would like to get up and close with one of these life-size foam statues and just kind of see, like, how are they heavy? Can you punch a hole through them? That kind of stuff. But yeah, foam, rubber, and latex. So yeah, that is the Wonder Woman and the Deadpool life-size figures from NECA Toys. And with that, that is going to be the end of this episode of action figure window shopping. I do want to thank you all very much for watching, and definitely stay tuned for the next episode, because there's going to be some McFarlane showcase stuff to show off, as well as some Haulathon stuff. And I'm going to check a Target or two. I'm not going to go crazy with it, just to see if I come up with anything. And if I do, you'll be rest assured there's going to be reviews here on this channel for whatever I happen to find. But until then, everybody, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next week.